Alright, so this is definitely, I think this is my first video in a while, but this is definitely not the video I was planning on recording. Actually, I had recorded another video, and it failed to upload, so, I don't actually remember what that video was about, but I'm gonna re-record and move on. So, first thing you're probably noticing is the setup is very different. I was planning on getting a better setup, but this is definitely not what I had in mind, although it is a lot better. This is an airbrush spray booth, so this is for my airbrush, so, I can stay healthy and continue to do what I love doing. I'm just gonna show off a couple things I got for Christmas. Uh, by the way, happy belated holidays. Well, when I originally recorded my video, it was supposed to come out 2 days after Christmas. Um, but it didn't upload, so now I'm here. But I'm just gonna show off, like I said, a couple things, and then some stuff I've been working on, and a technique or two. Yeah, no, I don't. I think I'm gonna show off two. I don't remember if I've shown one off before, like the other one, but that's besides the point. Um, so I'll start off with the obvious. Of course, this is Ghost Rider. He's my favorite superhero, and this is definitely one of my favorite Marvel Legend figures that I have. He is, like I said, he's a Marvel Legend, Ghost Rider. Probably the best one they've made, in my opinion, for me at least. Um, I think this is the first Ghost Rider we've gotten in a very long time now, that's on a new body, because I believe all of the old Ghost Rider figures, I think they were all on that original Ghost Rider body from like 2015, maybe, or was it like 2016, somewhere in there. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cool. He is shorter than the average figure. Um, I don't really have a good figure to compare here. I have this Phoenix here, which isn't a good comparison because the female figures are usually shorter. But yeah, he's about as tall as Phoenix, and she's pretty short. Um, I don't really have another good figure to compare it to. Um, so yeah, that sucks. Hang on. Here he is next to Deadpool with the gold-plated Desert Eagle pistoleros. And you can see, maybe you can see, it's kind of hard to tell because of the flames on his head, but if you like look at his shoulders, he's definitely shorter. When he is on the bike, he did come with a bike. I'm not going to show it off because it's kind of hard to get into the spray booth, and I don't want to take everything down, so I might do another video showing off this guy. I want to do some stuff to the bike, so I might feature him again, but you can see he's definitely shorter than this Deadpool figure here. Um, so yeah, that's interesting decision. I don't know why they did that. Um, but it's fine. I'm probably not gonna display him with other figures. He's probably gonna get displayed alone because I like him so much. So that's Ghost Rider. I'll give you a view of the back. Of course, there's not a lot of paint detail on this figure. But I mean, it's Ghost Rider. Like, what are you really gonna detail? He's, for the most part, two colors. So that's him. Then I also got this pretty cool Jon Bernthal Punisher from Daredevil Born Again with one of Mystique's guns. But I think this guy looks great. Looks a lot like Jon Bernthal. Um, he didn't actually come with the rifle. I should probably not display him with that so that it doesn't look like he came with more than he did. So there's your Jon Bernthal. But this guy, I think a lot of people really hated on the Deadpool and Wolverine, like the Hugh Jackman figure. I think a lot of people really hated on that guy, but I liked him a lot. I have the figure, of course. I love him. He's really, really cool. And I really like the articulation apparatus, so to say, that they have in the shoulder with the ball joint moving around. I think it's pretty cool. And this guy, when you're looking at it, it looks like a Marvel Legend and it handles like a Marvel Legend, which isn't to, like, that's not anything bad, right? I mean, in a lot of cases, I prefer the handle of a Marvel Legend figure over most other figures because some import figures feel so delicate that they're going to break in your hand, right? So Marvel Legend, to me, never really feels that way. I'm never scared to play with it or whatever. But he has a lot of articulation that just feels really sophisticated, and I like it a lot. He's got a neck joint, and then he's got a head joint, so his head moves like an import figure, so you can get a lot of, especially with Punisher, because he doesn't really talk a lot. Well, at least he does and he doesn't, right? But he portrays a lot of emotion through his facial expression. I think he has a very, he always looks angry, and I think that is, don't really know how to describe it, but it is very expressive and at the same time not expressive, which I know doesn't make any sense. If you understand what I'm trying to say there, good for you. You're one of few. But yeah, his shoulder joints are, going back to those, are pretty cool. So maybe you can kind of see there how they're on this like circular hinge. It's not like a forward and backward or an up and down. It's like a, I don't really know what you would call that. It's not a rocker. It's not a pivot. It's like it's a ball joint. I don't know how else to describe it. It moves the same way his torso does. Where you can get it forward, you can get it in a full range like that. So it's pretty cool. I like him a lot. Pretty simple figure, really. It would be a good one if he ever went to like Ross or Ollie's. It would be a really good figure to army build. To just get like basic figures to use as like, tactical figures. It would be really good for that. Because he does come with a holstered knife and pistol, which I'll show. I'll show off him holding the pistol, so, there you go. He's got the holster and the gun there, and then the knife goes in the back, and it's both of them go in and come out pretty easy. I don't remember him using a knife in the Daredevil show, but, I'm never going to complain about something like that. That would be pretty stupid. But yeah, so his knife is sheathed on the back right there. Both of them work very nice, very smooth. Overall, very, very nice figure. I like him a lot. So that's a couple of the Marvel Legends I got. I got others. I'll show off another Marvel Legend I got. I got this Old Man Logan here from the Warlock wave. Pretty cool figure. I loved the Logan movie. And I wanted an Old Man Logan figure, but I didn't want the movie figure. I wanted this guy. So I got him. And that's pretty awesome. I might do a video. Actually, I'm not going to upload a video, I don't think. I'll just tell you right now. If you want the claws to look better, hit them with 1 coat of natural steel from Vallejo. It makes them look a lot more metal. Of course, this is an older figure. They've since improved the color of their claws with this guy right here. And you can see the difference between the claws. Excuse me. His are a lot more silver. And the Old Man Logan's are a lot more of like a pearl color. Almost a white. They're almost not even silver, which is a little bit disappointing, but that's fine. I'll just do it myself. That's kind of why this channel exists. So, yeah, great figure. Love him. Older figure, but, still really nice. So, that's really all that matters, right? And on to some of the other stuff. I got this German 1-ton half-track here. I'll show. Alright, so here it is. This is the German 1-ton half-track. from Tamiya with some Vallejo mud, which I'm going to show off in a little bit here. But yeah, it came out pretty good, I think. I made a tow cable on the front there. Let me grab something to show, to point with here. I'll use this Mr. Hobby cement. So, actually, that's a stupid idea. I'll use my X-Acto. So, right there is the tow cable coming down and around. I think it came out pretty good. I just used, I don't actually know. I think it's beading wire, like this really, really thin wire that I have here. It looks a lot thicker on camera, but trust me, it's really thin. Like, I think it's thinner than what would be in, like, a pipe cleaner that you would buy at, like, Michael's or something. So, yeah, it's really, really, really thin. And you just take it. It came with the tow hooks, and you just, like, I just took it and twisted it until it was coiled enough to my liking, and then I glued it into the cable, like the hooks, and yeah, so you get this kind of effect. And then I put some on the windshield. The color on the windshield is khaki from Tamiya, so it's this one. If you're looking for the number, it's XF-49. So there you go. Yeah, it looks really good. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to make a couple more videos maybe showing it. I might show it off again. I don't know. I did kind of do it off camera just because, you know, I wanted to really be able to take my time with it and not really enjoy the build and not feel like I'm on a deadline with the upload schedule, even though I don't have one. So, yeah, I think this thing is definitely, out of all of the models I've assembled, it's one of the more experimental models that I've done, I would say. You know, you've got the grime on the windshield and all over the vehicle, just a disgusting vehicle. I don't have the figures done yet, but that's what this Vallejo paint is for the uniform. If anyone wants to know, what do I use for German uniforms? What should I use? I unfortunately have this really, really old bottle of Tamiya paint. Nothing against Tamiya paints, they've been very reliable for me, but the specific bottle that I have of German Field Gray goes on really dark and I don't like it. Mine is XF65. So yeah, it dries really dark. I don't like the color of it, so I really love this Vallejo. But this is the driver, and he seats in. I'm afraid I'm going to knock this over. Hold on. So I have him in the driver's seat. It's a little bit hard to get him in there. But there he is. Of course, I haven't done anything to him. I only glued the arms and legs onto the torso. The head and cap are still on here. I prime everything with my airbrush. Most stuff I prime in either black or gray. Or if it's a really, like, complicated figure to paint, I will do whatever the base color of the uniform is. So, whether that's, you know, like, for the Thousand Suns figure that I painted, I base coated the figure in that, like, teal color. So, yeah, that's mainly my approach to that. But, yeah, there's the half track. I love this thing. It's very, very cool. So, oh, I knocked over a Pepsi can. So, that's the half track there. What else can I show? I got, for anyone out there who's, you know, sitting around thinking, man, I really wish I had some sort of chemical that would incinerate my brain. No. Anyone who's out there thinking, man, I really wish I had a, like, bonding agent that works like super glue and is as strong as super glue, but doesn't leave as much of a mess, I would recommend Mr. Hobby cement. That's not going to stay. I'll just hold it. This stuff, wear a mask, please. I do not want people giving themselves a lobotomy from this. It's really, really strong. It smells like nail polish remover times 10. It's really bad. I have this spray booth here. It has a fan in it, so you can, you know, filter out those nasty chemicals. and it goes pretty good. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but it's pretty good. It's a really, really nice thing, and it gets that smell out of here, but, you know, stuff is really strong, so please wear a mask. But if anyone wants to know what to use with the, with figures, you don't want that mess from the super glue, it's really messy, use this Mr. Cement. Takes a little bit longer to cure, but it's really nice. And, for anyone who says, okay, oh, and it goes on with a brush, too. Forgot to mention that. And then for anyone who says, okay, well, I want Mr. Cement, but I don't want Mr. Cement because the brush is too big. It's a rather big brush, I'll show it off. I'll give myself a little bit of damage to my lungs just to show you guys. There's the brush, right? So it's a little bit bigger. But whoa, if you want something that's a little bit more precise, actually significantly more precise, the Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. I love this stuff. A good friend of mine gave this to me for Christmas. Ex-former, of course. He gave this to me. I love it. I've been using it on some smaller scale stuff. Very, very nice product. Definitely recommend it for anyone who's thinking, maybe you want to put together a 1/72 model. You're a little bit apprehensive. The super glue, it's a little too messy, right? It's no good. So you want to use, definitely going to want to go with this stuff. This is what I would recommend. So there's a little educational segment of the video. What else am I going to show? I'll show off these 3 Space Marines that I haven't done using my miniature holder here. So I just assembled them. I didn't paint them yet, but here's one. There he is there. I'll get the camera focused on him a little better. So there you go. There's the first Space Marine. Looking pretty good. All of these guys are the blue ones. I don't really know anything about Warhammer. If anyone in the comment section is a big Warhammer guy, let me know what the blue faction is. I don't know, but there's the second one. Pretty cool looking. I think they all look great, honestly, but this guy looks really good. And I'm trying to build a small little army of Warhammer, maybe not too many of the same faction, just because, that's not really my thing. But there's the third one. Again, looking pretty good. I believe they all have flamethrowers. I think that's the weapon. Please don't get upset at me if I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. What else? So, I guess until I can, think of another thing to show off, I will go over the first method, which I already did, actually. So I'm just going to show off what I did and explain how I did it, because I don't want to, do it again. But we got this tank here. I'll put it up on the lovely pedestal so you can see. So this is, to me, a tank. I think it's called a Walker Bulldog. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And you're probably wondering, what's this piece of paper on the back, man? What is that for? So this is supposed to simulate a tarp that has been kind of just thrown on the back of the tank. Might have been covering, some gas or maybe some of the soldiers' gear. So they untarped it, and they were on the fly, so they just kind of threw it on the back there. Kind of supposed to make it look a little more improvised, the way most war vehicles would. So, what you're going to want to do is take a cup. I have this really nasty cup. Probably pick a better one. This one's seen some stuff, but pick a nicer cup than this one, please. But just fill it with water. If you can kind of see those, layers in there, fill it to about there with water. And take a piece of copy paper, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, and stick it in the water, leave it in there for about 2 minutes, pull it out, just kind of squeeze it in a paper towel, get some of that get some of the water out of the paper so it's not going to drench your model. And just lay it on, get it nice and messy, looks, you know, really like haphazardly done the way this one does. It's a little bit bright in here, so it's probably hard to see. But yeah, I'll show it off again. There you go, you can see. And you get it on there and you let it dry for a couple hours. And when it's done, you're going to want to take some of your Mr. Hobby, Mr. Cement brain damage substance and just kind of wipe it on the dried paper to give it some extra strength to hold up, and then let that dry. Give that a couple hours to dry as well, just to be sure, and then just take your airbrush if you have an airbrush. If not, I suppose you could use a normal paintbrush, but it would take longer and might create problems with the paper. But take your airbrush and you just airbrush the paper, whatever color you want it to be. I haven't done that yet, but you can just airbrush it like an olive drab, you know. And I might do mine in khaki because I think it's gonna look good against the vehicle here. But yeah, you do that, and you know, you'll have a really nice looking tank, or not a tank, but a tarp. It's gonna make your vehicles look better, in my opinion. It makes it look more realistic, so I like doing it. I think it looks cool. And yeah, so that's just pretty much most of what I covered in the first video. So I'm going to move on to what I'm going to show off today, which is my new Vallejo Mud, Weathering FX Thick Mud. So, wait, actually, there it goes. Before I do that, I am going to show off one of my favorite figures I've done. I did a video on him, I believe, but it was hard to see in the video because my lighting wasn't very good. But here's the Warhammer Thousand Suns figure that I painted up. So, yeah, there's the camera's having a hard time focusing here. Give me a second. There we go. So, there's him. He looks pretty good, I think. I'm very, very happy with how this figure came out. Something about painting Warhammer, man. I just like it. Always looks pretty good. So, I have another one of these guys. I have, like, I don't know. Something about this guy gives off, like, Holy Warrior vibes. So, I guess the other dude I have kind of like the priest, right? So, I have him. And I'm going to do a video, possibly a video. I have this really bad habit of saying I'm going to do stuff and I never do it. But that's just how it is. But we'll see how things go. But I'm going to try and get around to doing a video on the leader here. I'm assuming he's the leader. He's the one carrying the staff, you know, it's this guy. So I've already started on his hand. But I did that like last year, being 2025. So yeah, but that's him. So I'm just gonna show off basically how to use this mud. So it's you're gonna want a stiff paintbrush, something that's old, something that you haven't taken care of. You know, I have these really, really nasty Airfix brushes that have been to hell and back. You know, you got this one. It's pretty dirty, but the bristles are actually in not bad shape. But I like to use these guys because, I don't know, I guess I just, like, I'm not super, super concerned on if they get destroyed or not. So, yeah, but I take the mud, I dip the brush in it, so, I don't really think shaking it is going to do anything, honestly. I would recommend shaking most products, but this one I would say it's kind of useless. There it is. I'll zoom the camera out so it's not, like, in your face. But there's the mud. It's kind of looks like poop, actually. But basically, I'll just find something here. Alright, so here's this, Stormtrooper, First Order Stormtrooper that I've been wanting to customize for a while. I got this guy at a toy show for, like, $1. Cleaned him up, and then I made him kind of battle damaged, so he's got some green paint on him. That was actually an accident. That was a spill. But I'm just going to take the mud. You'll get some in the cap as well. It's hard to see, but trust me, there's some in the cap. I would recommend taking that first, of course. Always use what's in the cap. Don't let that go to waste. So you get it on your brush like that. It really, really looks like a dog turd. And you just kind of like get it on the figure. And it looks very real. You know? It's going to go on like pretty heavy. You can spread it thin if you want. I'm going to try and get it like looking pretty natural here. Let me go behind the camera and do this. Excuse me. So there you go. There's the mud on the leg there. Let me try and get that a little more focused. There we go. So I tried to make it look a little natural. I might go back and hit it again. I probably will. So I just realized this now, actually, but I put it on where the joint needs clearance to move. So I'm going to see, because I haven't worked with this stuff a lot. I only worked on it with the half track, and those are plastic tracks on that. So each individual, like, well, no, it's kind of like half and half. So some of the treads are like individual, and some of them are together. So I didn't know how this would work with moving parts, because it dries, and when it dries, it's very hard. So I don't know if it's going to bond his foot like that. I'm actually not sure. So I'm going to leave him on the miniature holder like that until I'm ready to, until it's dry enough. I would definitely give this a while to dry. I did this half track. I did all of this mud about 2 days ago. No, 3 days ago at this point, and it was still drying yesterday. It's dried now, but it was finishing drying yesterday, so I'm probably going to leave him for a while. I would recommend leave it for 3 days. Don't touch it for 3 days. That would be my recommendation. Specifically for this one, right? Like, of course, there are other mud products, but specifically for the Vallejo Weathering Effects mud, definitely leave it for like 3 days, at least a day before before you handle it rough. But it'll still be tacky probably, so I would definitely give it some time to dry. If you think it's been too long, just leave it, because you really don't know. Would be my recommendation. Until it's been what you feel like is more than enough time. I would go for 3 days. So yeah, that's pretty much been the video. I'll leave you with this other cool modeling thing that I got. I'll move this guy over here. But we got this set of... I got this set. You didn't get it. Well, maybe you did. I don't know. If you did, congratulations. It's very cool. But this set of, like, fantasy figures, it's literally... I don't want to dig the box out because it's kind of under some sprues right now. But it's called Monster Set 28mm Scale Fantasy Minis. And there's 68 figures in this box. 4 bags of, I think it's like 16 or 17 figures in the same bag. And they all have the same figures in them. They're just in different colors. So it's 68 miniatures, but I think you only get like 22. I think 22 unique figures. Everything else is the same, but I mean, if you're building an army, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's really cool, but this is like the big guy in the box. This is the dragon. I've got to prime him. All that comes unprimed, unpainted. Gives you painting guides in the box, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot, and that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. I think the next video I upload is going to be either on G.I. Joe or it's going to be on something else. So that's a pretty safe bet that it's going to be one of those two. But, yeah, before I go, I'll leave you with this bolt-action German sniper, winter camo. Well, no camo, but winter. So, yeah, I painted this the other day. And, yeah, it's about it. So, yeah.